Very interesting. So just a few days ago, on Tuesday, when Apple announced their April 20th event, I tried to sort of throw some water on the fire and spread some caution about getting your hopes up for new Macs at this event. And I ended up very quickly not following my own advice because in the last day or two, we have some last-minute iMac rumors that are really, really exciting. And we're not just talking about the timing, like is it going to be Tuesday or not. There's actual details about these devices as well as when we should expect them. And it's getting juicy, folks. So if you're excited like I am for these new iMacs, if they're not on Tuesday, they'll be in the next 2 months or so. Make sure to get subscribed and turn on notifications so you don't miss an upload. Let's talk about it. So, as usual, when there's an Apple event, I'm going to be live covering it here on the channel. We're going to start streaming an hour before Apple's event, and then I'll be streaming concurrently during the event, and we'll be reacting to it, and then I'll stick around for a little bit after the event to unpack what we heard before I break off and make some videos for the channel. If you're interested in that, make sure to get subscribed, follow me on Twitter or Twitch if you prefer to watch it on Twitch versus YouTube. Anyway, let's hop into this new information. So it's been rumored for a little while that the iMac redesign was going to be coming in the early half of 2021. Back in 2020, about a year ago, we actually thought that we would be getting a new generation iMac at WWDC. That very clearly did not happen. We didn't even get it in August when we did get an iMac update. That was just an Intel spec bump. But now it's finally looking like we're getting close to redesigned Apple Silicon iMac time. And I, for one, am very, very excited. Now, the news that we have today is a little bit different and offers a little bit of clarity compared to some of the previous rumors. So up until now, we've been hearing about a 23 or a 24-inch iMac. We've got things like the display will probably share a lot of traits with the Pro Display XDR. There was even rumors a couple of months ago about new colors mirroring the iPad Air. That all sounds very interesting, but we didn't know a whole lot about what was going to be the sort of product stack of this iMac. Now, when I say product stack, what I mean is the different configurations. So between the two sizes of iMac, there are 6 configurations to choose from, and then those can be further customized. So it's a lot. Now, if we look at the smaller 21.5-inch iMac, which is universally agreed to be the first to be updated, you'll notice that there's a base model, which is frankly garbage. I reviewed it, well, I made fun of it about a week or two ago, so definitely check that video out. And then there's 2 4K iMacs that sit above that on the pricing tier, and those haven't been updated since 2019. Now, personally, I've thought for a little while that Apple was going to continue with that trend. 3 different configurations, possibly down to 2, but basically having one sort of entry-level one where for people that don't necessarily need it to be super powerful, and then a more powerful version. So up until now, we've kind of just assumed that all of the 23-inch iMacs were going to run M1X. However, Mark Gurman, Love to Dream, a whole bunch of people are hinting that there's going to be a new iMac for 1 soon, and for 2 with an M1 chip. Now that's very interesting because one of the reasons I was hesitant about expecting an iMac at this event is that it seemed a little bit early for a big redesign with new chips, a whole new thing, whereas if we're going to be redesigning the iMac but using essentially the same processor that we already have in the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air and the Mac Mini, that could seem a little bit more feasible. Frankly, the rumors for M1X being right around the corner just aren't really there. There's a certain threshold that you get to in terms of the leaks and the detail of leaks that kind of informs when things are going to happen. And we're not really at that point with M1X. However, if we're just going to do sort of the lower tier and then get an M1X a little bit later, that could be really interesting. Now, as for the details on this proposed iMac, apparently it could be as thin as 0.8 of an inch, super sleek. Apparently they're reviving the colors from the original iMac back in 1998, or at least something similar. That was hinted at by Love to Dream. It certainly seems like this is a sooner rather than later sort of thing, which means, in my mind, if we don't see it on Tuesday, then I think there's going to be a May event. I think even regardless, there's a pretty decent chance that we get a May event this year. If you remember back to last year, Apple started basically doing events in threes. There was September, October, November, so now we could get April, May, June. Stands to reason. As for other evidence that these iMacs could be coming sooner than later, if not Tuesday, maybe next month, would be in macOS Big Sur Beta 11.3. So this is an update that's going to be coming out to the general public pretty soon, and it contains references to iMac 21,1 and 21,2. Those are numbers that do not correspond to any existing iMac, although it is worth noting that 21 does not signify the screen size, so don't worry about that. Another thing that points to a potentially imminent release of new iMacs is that the supply of 21.5-inch iMacs is dwindling pretty badly. Now, this could also be due to the global chip shortage, so I don't want to draw any unparalleled conclusions here, but it seems a little bit less than coincidental, given that for the past couple of months, all through 2020, it was very easy to order a 21.5-inch iMac. In fact, I ordered the one that I made fun of, and it arrived within a week, and now it's seeming like shipping times are slipping, potentially to the point where supplies are running out, because, hopefully, a new model is around the corner. Now, if we do get a new 23-inch iMac at this event, I think it's likely that it would just be a base model M1 powered version with M1X coming later. So I wouldn't necessarily get all excited that the entire iMac lineup is going to get revamped straight away. If it does happen, I think it'll be a first step. But, honestly, I will take it. If this could save anyone from having to buy one of the current 21.5-inch iMacs, I will take it. Okay? I mean, those things are abysmal in terms of value. The fact that they're still selling new computers that are essentially 2 or 4 years old kind of boggles the mind. In fact, I have one more little piece of information that could suggest that there are new iMacs coming soon, and it actually is in relation to the video that I made making fun of the base iMac. I received word, I won't disclose who told me this, but I received word that people inside Apple were not super pleased that I was drawing attention to that particular computer. Now, this person indicated that they didn't really want me to make a video on this because they're kind of trying to sweep that thing under the rug. They said that its discontinuation was imminent. That's an interesting thing to keep in mind, because if they haven't discontinued it for 4 years, it seems like they're not going to just discontinue it without a replacement. So, I don't know. Take that one with a grain of salt. Take all of this with a grain of salt. But I think Tuesday is definitely going to be an exciting day. Even if we don't get the iMac, it's going to be kind of like a game show while we're watching this event. So you won't want to miss it. Make sure you're subscribed and be there an hour before the event. We're going to have a lot of fun. So let me know in the comments below, do you think there is going to be a new iMac on Tuesday's event? I'm very curious. I'm also going to put up a community poll, so feel free to go vote on that. This is getting interesting, folks. So I'll see you in a couple days.